Good evening. Welcome to the Pearl Report. I'm Diana Lin. Hong Kong fencing star Edgar Cheung has just won the SAR's first ever World Cup medal in his sport. Another sign Hong Kong athletes are gaining ground in the international arena. But the lack of training resources and venues persists for our sportsmen, especially those in the so-called non-elite sports. Producer Annie Lau scrutinizes the challenges they face and how they overcome the limitations.
Hua Hing Sports Center in Shengshui, a burgeoning sport, rope skipping.
The sport of rope skipping has speed and freestyle skipping. For individual speed skipping, we have the 30-second speed step, 3-minute endurance step, and 75-second freestyle.
Ali Ching heads the Hong Kong Rope Skipping Association. Some 500 Hong Kongers are engaged in the sport professionally. Every year, the association picks a Hong Kong team from among them for international competitions. This year, it's sending a 134-member team to South Korea for the Asian Rope Skipping Championship in July. David Chung is a team member.
In the recent Hong Kong individual rope skipping elite competition, which is to select the Hong Kong team, I won the individual category and qualified for the Asian Championship. I hope I can continue to be a champion.
2 years ago, the 23-year-old athlete won in the men's individual and small team categories in the Asian Championship. He is also the world record holder of the male event double Dutch speed relay in 2015.
I can do 20 level 6 moves in 75 seconds, including moves like crisscross. Normally, people do 10 to 15. I can do more. So I got a higher difficulty score.
David started skipping at 15 with friends on the school playground. Within a year, David was picked for his secondary school rope skipping team.
His leaping ability is relatively strong. If you can't jump as high as David does, it's difficult to play the sport.
About 180 schools in Hong Kong have rope skipping teams. Inter-school competitions are held yearly.
These competitions gave me more chances to widen my horizons. The sport of rope skipping brings me a feeling of success.
At 18, David was initiated into the Hong Kong rope skipping team. And he set his sights on the World Championship, a feat already attained by his teammate Tommy Chow, who broke the world record for freestyle skipping in last year's World Championship. A video of his performance attracted 900,000 views in 10 days. Together, the Hong Kong team won 79 medals in the championship. Since 2007, the Rope Skipping Association has been applying to the Hong Kong Sports Federation and the Olympic Committee to become a member sport, but it's been refused.
Full membership are given to those sports. Usually they are official events in Olympic Games or the Asian Games. Professor
Cheung wants the sports bodies to review their criteria.
Is it have a room to improve to accommodate more members? Rope skipping is already demonstrated very outstanding result international level. Probably should have a high priority to be considered.
The Hong Kong Sports Federation and the Olympic Committee was non-committal, saying it would
review the criteria for application regularly with a view to incorporate more potential sports in the federation.
A lack of official recognition means no priority access to public facilities for training.
If you are an Olympic Committee member, you can book Leisure and Cultural Services Department facilities earlier. For instance, now, we can only book facilities for 3 months, and no one knows if you can book it or not. The biggest impact is we can't provide more regular classes for neophytes or elite athletes.
For the coming Asian Championship, the association tried last September to book a venue and got it only this April.
You can count from April to July. There are only 3 months, and I only get Fridays. That means we have just 12 training sessions. It's not enough.
2 years ago, David started renting a unit in an industrial building in Taiwan.
We spent a lot of time looking in industrial buildings. It's difficult because we need a big place and a high ceiling, at least 11 feet.
A standard rope skipping venue should be 12 meters in length and width.
呢度就5米啦，呢度就係多1米度咁樣。咁我哋其實呢個 studio 嘅闊度其實得6米嘅啫。
The length is 12 meters.
We may have around 20 people in a training session. When we are all standing up, it's very crowded. The beams cracked from ropes hitting it.
David foots the rent of $20,000 monthly for this unit. In the first year, while he was studying risk management at Hong Kong University, he received $60,000 in loans from a youth group's entrepreneurship program and borrowed $50,000 from friends and worked part-time jobs to pay his bills. Since graduation, he's been teaching rope skipping and performing at commercial events.
This reduces the hours and days I do my own training.
He also has to fork out about $15,000 for the coming Asian Championship.
All athletes have to pay their own way to competitions. Some athletes can't afford it and give up. I think it's a pity. If we have the Olympic Committee's backing, rope skipping can have a more long-term development in Hong Kong.
Luckily, I have a group of teammates with the same passion for rope skipping, so I'm motivated to carry on.
My name is Piro. I have been taking part in BMX racing for 6-7 years. What we're doing now is called BMX race. There's a stage where 8 people start together. The fastest one wins. To speed up, the basic move is fly jump. Then there's manual. That's riding with one wheel.
Piro started riding a BMX bike at 16.
I used to ride mountain bikes. One day a friend brought me here to try a BMX bike. I loved it and has kept riding ever since.
He obtained a physical education diploma from Baptist University in 2014. Then,
the Hong Kong Cycling Association asked me to try full-time training to see how far I can go.
LCSD gives about $100,000 a year to train BMX riders. Piro, then 18, represented Hong Kong in the 2014 Asian Games.
At the time, my goal was to try my best to train to see if I can challenge others.
His best result so far is entering the final 16. Last year, he retired from the sport.
I knew I didn't reach championship level. Maybe because I started too late.
He's now teaching kids how to ride a form of the BMX bike. BMX biking got a vital boost when Stephen Wong won a gold medal for Hong Kong in the 2009 East Asian Games.
But 2012, 2013 and onwards, it was surpassed by Thailand, Indonesia and Japan.
Gary blames the lack of training venues. In 2009, the Jockey Club gave the Cycling Association $20 million to build this international BMX park. It met global standards at the time.
Most standard tracks are now 400 meters. This is only 350 meters. So when they go to compete, they're short by 50 meters. You can't train enough in fitness and techniques.
After a biker broke his collarbone on the track last year, the Hong Kong Cycling Association closed it for maintenance.
Yes, never seriously maintained the track. Now they dig up the track part by part, cover it with soil and stick them together with glue. But looking at other places in the world, nobody uses glue anymore because when it rains, the glue melts, ruining the ground.
You need money for maintenance.
Since 2009, the association has been losing about $1 million annually running the track.
BMX biking is a new sport. The Hong Kong Cycling Association lacks knowledge in how to promote the sport, so daily admissions and our income have decreased.
A biker pays $70 a day to ride in the BMX park. With the track closed indefinitely, bikers turn to smaller grounds nearby. Hector Ho raced at the Asian BMX Championship in Thailand this May.
Mainland athletes are very good. They've full-time training.
Hector is the only member left on the Hong Kong BMX bike team that started in 2009 with about 6 members. He trains part-time now.
Athletes have to make a living, so they don't want to train anymore, so fewer people play the sport. Our rivals have about 1,500 hours of training a year. The Leisure and Cultural Services Department has resources for Hong Kong athletes to train only 200 to 300 hours. That's not enough. Because this sport isn't an elite sport, less funding is given.
If there are more resources provided, I hope they can open a new track or renovate a place for us to jump.
Coming up after the break, trouble in the field.
Being an athlete is like being a criminal. It's just ridiculous, really.
Goodbye, Wan Chai Sports Ground.
I learned persistence in the sports ground. It's shocking.
Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Pearl Report. Hong Kong athletes, even in elite sports, often complain of lacking government support. This year, $20 billion from public coffers are earmarked to build or renovate 26 sports and recreational facilities. Some experts lament it's too little, too late.
Thailand Mountain Bike Trail, the Ho Poi section. Brian Cook grew up in Hong Kong and started riding mountain bikes at 16.
I like the speed, I like jumping off high rocks.
After attending Newcastle University in the UK, he returned to Hong Kong and met the standards set by the Hong Kong Cycling Association to get its coaching support. A year later, in 1998, he won the bronze medal in downhill mountain biking at the Asian Games.
You start at the top of the mountain, you get down to the bottom as fast as you can. I just think it's very exciting.
His Asian Games win earned him a $150,000 medal bonus from the government. He also became the so-called elite athlete in Hong Kong. For him, that meant about $14,000 a year in government support, plus use of the facilities at the Hong Kong Sports Institute for training.
Even as a full-time athlete, you don't get much salary. Definitely not enough to rent a house and survive by yourself.
His government stipend stopped in 2002 when he failed to win a medal in that year's Asian Games. He still trains part-time while earning a living teaching kids mountain biking. On weekends, he rides on the Tai Lam Mountain Bike Trail, one of 10 trails managed by the Agriculture, Fisheries and Conservation Departments, AFCD. Brian says 10 trails are not enough for the 40 professional mountain bikers in Hong Kong.
You get used to the trails, and the trails aren't even too long anyways. They're over real fast.
Brian says riders usually have to wait for 5 to 8 years for a new trail.
We all rely on the Cycling Association of Hong Kong to apply for trails. A certain trail they wanted to open, they would go to the Agriculture and Fisheries Department, but the department might say, oh, that trail is not entirely ours, it is also the Waterworks Department. No one would take responsibility, and then in the end, they won't be able to get the trail.
As an alternative, Brian says some bikers train overseas.
They got proper bike parks. You can ride around the whole mountain. We do not have any parks like that, but this is their home. Shouldn't the government be actually giving us more trails to train in our home?
AFCD says
the trails are designed for recreational purposes rather than professional sport training or competition. We have been engaging relevant bikers associations and communities to collect views from users and hire trail specialists from the International Mountain Bicycling Association to assist in planning and building MBTs that meet international standards.
Plus, the department says improvements have been made on some trails in Tai Lam and Lantau South country parks to ensure safety of bikers and hikers.
There are a lot of mountain hikers, maybe 3,000–4,000 of them every weekend. And they want good trails to walk. We will not open up those trails for mountain bikes because you may have only a couple hundred people. An accident happens, who is responsible? This is a very big problem.
On some of the trails, mountain bikers hit a dead end. The government has also made it hard for mountain bikers to travel all the way down a trail without interruption.
It happens in a lot of trails. At the end, there is no exit. There'll be a sign like this, and it'll say you cannot go any further. So you have to go back up the trail and exit through the way you entered the trail, and which can take hours. If you're injured, it's not possible.
AFCD says
all MBTs in the country parks have proper entrances, which are also exits. When planning the route of the MBTs, in particular the entrance-exit points, the safety of bikers and hikers, the potential impacts on the nearby villages and the natural environment have been taken into consideration.
even walking a bike through the restricted area is against the rules, Brian says, on about half of the 10 trails.
If this is not blocked, so how long would it take for the biker to go directly to the cities?
Oh, from here, just up the road to at the end of the Tai Lam Chung Mountain Bike Trail, it will take approximately 5 minutes to Gold Coast.
For convenience, some bikers still ride through the restricted area to leave, at the risk of being ticketed.
Why are we getting tickets for training on where we're supposed to do our sport? Being an athlete is like being a criminal. It's just ridiculous, really.
With persistent calls for more and better sports training facilities, the government has earmarked $20 billion for 26 projects in the next 5 years. One of them will be at this site in Tuen Mun.
The government will build a sports ground here for 5,000 spectators. We can see these 2 plots of land. One is used as temporary car parks.
Tam says the district council first asked for this in 2009, but government was slow to move.
The government has money. Whether the government has the sincerity to develop sports projects, I'm very doubtful.
The Hong Kong Planning Standards and Guidelines says there should be 1 sports ground for every 200 to 250,000 people. Tuen Mun already has one.
With 500,000 people in Tuen Mun and the population is increasing, so it's late for us to get a second sports ground.
And it will be later still by the time it's ready. Tam says that'll be 5 years.
We can see cars are coming in and out of the car park. It's unknown when construction will begin. Will they procrastinate again? We don't know.
Tam says schools in the district complain there's no room to play here, so they have to travel.
The sports ground is packed the whole year and they have to go to Yuen Long.
He'd like to see the government give districts more control.
Like giving districts the resources to decide on some regional projects to develop sports facilities more quickly.
I throw the javelin. My name is Ricky Hui.
25-year-old Ricky set the Hong Kong javelin record earlier this year at the Wan Chai Sports Ground. He started throwing the javelin at university when he was 19.
When I was little, I competed and trained here. I have a lot of memories of this sports ground. The atmosphere was good when inter-school competitions were held here because the seats are near the field. You can hear the cheers.
The government wants this land so it can extend the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Centre. The work would start in 2019.
We are shocked. We are not consulted. If you take away one of the key stadiums without any further plan, I think that will be a very, very big blow to the Hong Kong athletics.
This is the main venue for the Division I Inter-School Athletics Competition, Hong Kong's top school athletics meet. Kwang Ki says the usage rate here is over 90%. This place is home to all the different events that make up athletics.
Other sports grounds in Hong Kong, they are sports grounds with track, but they are not exclusive used for athletic training.
If Wan Chai Sports Ground goes, the Chung Kwan O and Siu Sai Wan Sports Grounds would be the only two international standard grounds left for athletics. But they're used for other sports.
When we throw at Chung Kwan O and damage the grass, the football players might not be happy. Wan Chai Sports Ground isn't open to people playing other sports.
Chan Chung Wang is a former 110-meter hurdles Hong Kong record holder. He and others in running events would prefer to run in Wan Chai, not Chung Kwan O, because in Wan Chai the wind comes off the water at their back.
Running with the wind, athletes go faster in the last stretch of the track, and it's easier to set records.
Chan started training here at 17, and now, as a part-timer, he still comes here to run.
I learned persistence in the sports ground. It's shocking. I hope they don't demolish Wan Chai Sports Ground.
Home Affairs says the convention center extension is not yet a done deal.
The Hong Kong Trade Development Council will conduct a feasibility study on the proposal. Since the proposal is a preliminary one, the government is yet to finalise a development plan. The government has been listening to and will continue to listen to stakeholders' views on the proposal.
There will be an athletics track at the public sports ground in the new Kai Tak Sports Complex, due to open in 2022.
I hope after Kai Tak Sports Park is developed, it can make up for the loss of the Wan Chai Sports Ground. Hong Kong has athletes with potential. We hope the new government can sincerely provide more sports facilities to support athletes.
Well, thank you for watching our show. It will be re-aired on Monday, Tuesday and Saturday, as well as online and on mobile apps. Until next time, from the Pearl Report team, good night, good luck and good health.